Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we are looking at a copy of Jumanji. This is not the magic version that will send you into a movie with Robin Williams or The Rock. This is the board game from Milton Bradley. Ages 8 and up, 2 to 4 players. And this came out in 1995. So it's a little over 20 years old. I got this copy at a Goodwill or Salvation Army, one of the thrift stores. And I haven't seen too many of these around. I know it was pretty popular because of the movie. But it is over 20 years old now. So let's open it up, see what we got in here. Alright, first we have our board, which is actually quite large. So you can see you got your one board here, and then it goes into two other pieces. There's going to be a piece that goes here, and then we've got our fourth section here. So because it is a four-fold board, you'll want to check the seam in the middle especially, and make sure that's not split. That's usually where these would occur. The sides aren't as bad typically because they fold in. So because it folds on that crease, you'll want to check the back of the board on the center seam. This one's actually in pretty good shape. So that, because it is fairly heavy, if it gets thrown around a lot, it's going to break. So the rules how to play are on here. I don't think there was a separate rule book. I think it's just at a glance how to play. So what you have here is the reader. This is usually what's broken. This piece has this red screen on it to help you read the cards. A lot of times, because this is very cheap plastic, well, it was for the time. It's actually better than a lot of them now. This piece was stuck on, so it'll be missing. You can see this one actually is very, very loose. Because it's just held on with some cheap tacky glue gum. It actually probably was pretty good at the time, but over the years it's kind of come loose. This screen is actually necessary to play the game, so if you don't have this, find a red piece of plastic like this, same kind of tone, or from another game or some other toy, and use it to read the cards, because that's actually important. You have to have your cards here, and then they've got hidden words in the red area there, and you have to slide it in here to read what's written on the card. So, let me zoom in and we'll get a better look at the cards. So here's a better look at the effect that I just did. So, take your card, put it under here, and you can read the flavor text on the card. So if you're missing this, you're going to have to find something with a similar red tone to cancel out this, so that you can read the card. It's an old gimmick by today's standards, but it still works, and it's still reasonably popular. So let's see here. We've got these cards, and then we've also got a rhino, 4 wooden character pegs. There's red, blue, green, yellow. Now the tricky part is that you also get some dice. So you get 4 rescue dice. Just let me get those in the shot here. There's 30 danger cards. The game board center, which is this thing, which has the decoder on it. And there's no label sheet. We've already seen that those are used by looking at the dice. There's a D8, and there's also supposed to be a timer, which I am missing. I believe it's a 30-second timer though, and that appears to be it. The instructions appear to be just on this. I don't know if there are supposed to be other directions or not. I don't think there are. But we are missing the timer, and that is a problem. Let me see if it says how much time is in the timer. Oh, it's only an 8-second timer. Wow. Alright, so you have 8 seconds, so remember that if you lose the timer like I did. It's actually pictured on the back here. Where is it? Right here. So it's actually got yellow sand in it, the black top and bottom, and clear in the center, obviously. So if you lose the timer, you have 8 seconds. So this is just standard D8, nothing particularly special about it. Appears to be just a regular 8-sided die. Then your rescue die I think they're supposed to be all the same. But you have 8 it's obviously a D8, and there's 8 different stickers that you have to have. There's this like tennis racket thing, and then a D8, and then a sword, a raft, and then we've got a door, a battle axe, a red timer sticker, and a rope. And the stickers are scattered across these die. I don't think they're in a particular order. So you do need to have 4 dice like this. So 4 different colored D8s would probably work. So get 4 red D8s and a white D8, whatever, to compensate for that. So these are the wooden figures. They're pretty standard player pieces. They're the old style from like the 50s and 60s. They are wood. So you can still find these. They do still make them. And you'll need a little rhino figure from the like toy section. So make sure the rhino's there. Let's look at our 30 cards here and see what we've got. So there's some falling rocks. There's a lightning storm. Gator. Looks like a hole. Then a swamped living room. Some hyenas. Some ants. Got some bats. Got what looks like a poisonous flower. A hungry hippo. See what I did there? Cheetah. An elephant. A real big spider. Crumbling around some lady. And some zebras. Leeches. A guy in quicksand. A vine. Looks like a plant that shoots out pollen or something. A hunter. Monkeys with dishes. Mosquito. A very ominous skull and crossbones. A pelican playing with a laptop. A twister. Some rhinos. Some piranhas. A snake in a tree. A guy disappearing in a cloud of smoke. And a roaring lion. So that's your cards. So, it looks like a pretty straightforward game. It's going to be pretty easy. It is aimed at 8-year-olds. So, yeah, the board is probably the thing I would worry the most about. Everything else is pretty easy to replace. The 8-second timer, you can just set a clock on a phone or an egg timer or something like that. So you can work with that, and replacing the dice would be difficult, but I showed you everything that's on there. So if you had to recreate them, that's always a possibility. The rhino piece, you could get a toy replacement similar to that. The official one is pretty cool looking though. And these pieces are difficult to replace, but not impossible. They'll cost you a couple bucks. These are really nice pieces actually. I like the old wood ones. And the D8 is a standard D8. The most thing I'd be worried about being missing is the timer, the dice, and this piece. This you could replace if you had to with just a red piece of plastic that's semi-transparent so you could read the card, but it would be a pain. So if you don't have a lot of board games, you're probably not going to have something like that. Unless you have some of the kids stuff still, like little books and stuff like that, still use these kind of gimmicks. So it's possible you might have something like this around, but it's nice to have the official one. And these are going to get cracked real easily because it's not high-end plastic. So I would definitely inspect this if you can. Make sure the dice are there and make sure that the other pieces are all included, including your 30 cards. But that'll do it for this episode. That's Jumanji from 1995. It's movie tie-in, obviously. And finding any of these complete is going to be a little more difficult than it used to be. So keep an eye out. This one definitely would appeal to movie buffs, especially Robin Williams fans or fans of the original movie or the new movie. But that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.